Hello students, welcome to the video class for the subject generation, transmission, distribution. So today our topic is the layout of transmission and distribution scheme, and this is for 4th semester diploma electrical engineering students. So in today's topic we will discuss about the different components which are included in the transmission and distribution scheme of power system. Okay, so let's begin. So the in layout of transmission and distribution scheme, so here we have to know, first of all we have to know about the electric power system or electric supply system. What is this system? So the conveyance of electric power from power station to consumers premises is known as electric supply system. That means power station means where the electricity is generated, and consumer premises means it is the customer or people or consumer. Okay, so from the generating station to the customer. So the conveyance of electric power from the generating station to the consumer is known as electric supply system. So an electric supply system consists of three principal components. So first one is the power station, then transmission lines, and then distribution system. So electric power is produced at the power station, which are located at the favorable places, generally quite away from the consumer. Okay, so power station like your hydropower station, steam power station, thermal power station, nuclear power station. Okay, so these are all comes under power station category. So then so obviously the power station cannot be set up inside the city. So for hydro station it require particular specific space or area. In thermal station is same, in nuclear station is also same. So mostly these power stations are away from the consumer premises and away from the city. Okay, so we have to transmit the electricity from the power station or generating station to the consumer premises. So it is transmitted over large distance to load center with the help of conductors known as transmission lines, and finally it is distributed to a large number of small and big consumers through distribution network. Okay, so the electric supply system can be classified into DC or AC system and overhead or underground system. Okay, so normally 3-phase 3-wire AC system is universally adopted for generation and transmission of electric power. It is comes under economical proportion. Okay, but distribution of electrical power is done by 3-phase 4-wire AC system, and the underground system is more expensive than the overhead system. Therefore in our country overhead system is mostly adopted for transmission and distribution of electric power. That means in crowded area underground system is considered. Okay, so first we will discuss about generating station. So in this figure see, in this one line diagram, first it is the generating station, 11 kV generating station of 11 kV. Here 11 kV is generated. Okay, and the next part is this is the transformer. Okay, this transformer step up this generating voltage from 11 kV to 132 kV. Then this is the primary transmission line. Normally we transmit the electric power at high voltage level. Okay, to avoid the different kind of losses, problems, etc. And then next this is the transformer at the load side or generating or the distribution side. Here this high voltage is stepped down. Okay, 132 to 33 kV. And then at this receiving station, this is the receiving station over here. and from this receiving station through secondary transmission line, this is the secondary transmission line, upper one is the primary transmission line. Okay, so from receiving station through secondary transmission line, it is again reached to the substation. Here is also one transformer that is again step down the voltage from 33 kV to 11 kV, and at the substation level, here is the primary distribution. This part is the portion is the primary distribution. Through the primary distribution line, it is distributed, it is reached to the distribution substation. Here the voltage is stepped down from 11 kV to 400 volt. So these lines are also one act as a feeder line. So we can give supply to the large building, hospital, plants, wherever we need 11 kV. So here we can directly give supply of 11 volt, 11 kilovolt. Okay, we can give direct supply of 11 kilovolt, and again for domestic purpose we need to step down this 11 kV to 400 volt. Okay, so now at distribution substation this 11 kV is stepped down to 400 volt. So at the distribution substation 11 kV voltage is stepped down to 400 volt, and from this distribution substation it is distributed, this is through the secondary distribution line, and through this secondary distribution line it is distributed up to reached up to the customer. These are the different consumer lines. Okay, and this is the feeder, this is the feeder, and this is the distributor, and from this these are the different lines tapped from this distributor and this, and connected to the different consumers. Okay, so this is the complete layout of transmission and distribution scheme, so which is described over here. So this is the here the GS, which is written over here, GS, this is GS. GS represents the generating station. GS represents generating station where electric power is produced by three-phase alternator operating in parallel. The usual generation voltage is 11 kV. Okay, so for economy in the transmission of electric power, the generation voltage is stepped up to 132 kV or more at generating station with the help of three-phase transformer. The transmission of electric power at high voltage has several advantages, including saving of conductor material, high transmission efficiency, lower losses. These are the advantages of transmitting in higher voltage level. Okay, saving conductor material, high transmission efficiency, lower transmission losses. So it may appear advisable to use the highest possible voltage for transmission of electric power to save conductor material and have other advantages, but there is a limit to which this voltage can be increased. Okay, so it is because increase in transmission voltage introduces insulation problems, as well as the cost of switchgear and transformer equipment is increased. So therefore the choice of proper transmission voltage is essentially a question of economics. So we have to make balance in between the we have to make balance for choosing the proper transmission voltage. So generally the primary transmission is carried at 66 kV, 132 kV, 220 kV or 400 kV. Okay, then next one is the primary transmission. The electric power at 132 kV is transmitted by three-phase, three-wire overhead system to the outskirts of the city. This forms the primary transmission. And then the next one is the secondary transmission. The primary transmission line terminates at the receiving station, that is RS, which usually lies at the outskirts of the city. At the receiving station, the voltage is reduced to 33 kV by step down transformer, and from this receiving station electric power is transmitted at 33 kV by three-phase three-wire overhead system to various substations represented by SS located at the strategic points in the city. This forms the secondary transmission. Okay, then the next one is the primary distribution. The secondary transmission line terminates at the substation where voltage is reduced from 33 kV to 11 kV three-phase three-wire. The 11 kV lines run along the important roadsides of the city. This forms the primary distribution. It may be noted that the big consumers having demand more than 50 kilowatt are generally supplied power at 11 kV for further handling with their own substations. Okay, and then next one is the secondary distribution. The electric power from primary distribution line 11 kV is delivered to the distribution substation DS. These substations are located near the consumer's locality and step down the voltage to 400 volt, three-phase four-wire for secondary distribution. The voltage between any two phases is 400 and between any phase and neutral is 230 volt. The single phase residential lighting load is connected between any one phase and neutral, whereas three phase 400 volt motor load is connected across three phase lines directly. So this is here another figure. It describes this is the distribution substation. From these feeder lines are there. From these feeder lines are fed to the or these feeder lines give supply to the distributor line. This is the distributor line. Okay, and from this distribution from this distributor loads, different loads are tapped. This is one load tapping over here, this is another load, this is another load. So the loads are taken from the distributor by tapping. Okay, so it may be worthwhile to mention here that secondary distribution system consists of feeders, distributors and service mains. So this is feeder, this is distributor and these are the service main, okay, which is connected to the consumers, domestic consumers. Okay, so this figure shows the elements of low voltage distribution system. This is the low voltage distribution system. Okay, feeder SC or SA radiating from the distribution substation supply power to the distributor AB, BC, CD, AD. These are all over here. This is feeder SC, this is feeder SA, this is the distributor AB, BC, CD, DA, and these arrow marks represent service mains. Okay, so this is all about the layout of transmission and distribution scheme. Then the next important definitions are voltage regulation and efficiency of transmission. So voltage regulation means what? When a transmission line is carrying current, there is a voltage drop in the line due to resistance and inductances of the line. So the result is that receiving end voltage VR of the line is generally less than the sending end voltage Vs. So this voltage drop Vs minus VR in the line is expressed as a percentage of receiving end voltage and is called as voltage regulation. So this is the sending end voltage, this is receiving end voltage. So the difference is Vs minus VR and Vs minus VR with respect to VR. Okay, so the voltage drop Vs minus VR in the line is expressed as a percentage of receiving end voltage is known as voltage regulation. So this is the expression for voltage regulation. In other words, if we can describe it as the difference in voltage at receiving end of a transmission line between conditions of no load and full load is called voltage regulation and is expressed as a percentage of receiving end voltage. So this is the voltage at the receiving end when it is in no load condition. This is the voltage at the receiving end when it is in load condition, and this is the voltage at the receiving end at load condition. Okay, so the difference of no load and full load condition with respect to the receiving end voltage at full load condition. and when it is expressed in percentage, mathematically we can write percentage of voltage regulation is equal to Vs minus Vr divided by Vr into 100. Okay, so it is desirable that the voltage regulation of a transmission line should be low. The increase in load current should make very little difference in the receiving end voltage. Okay, when that means whenever the voltage regulation is very low, that means the increase in load current should make very little difference in the receiving end voltage. And the next term is transmission efficiency. So what is this transmission efficiency? The power obtained at the receiving end of a transmission line is generally less than the sending end power due to losses in the line resistance. So the ratio of receiving end power to the sending end power of a transmission line is known as transmission efficiency. So mathematically it is expressed as like this. This is the transmission efficiency is equal to receiving end power divided by sending end power into 100. And in mathematically, receiving end power represents as VR IR cos phi r, and sending end power VS IS cos phi s. So it is VR IR cos phi r. This is the receiving end power divided by sending end power Vs IS cos phi s, cos phi s into 100. So this is the transmission efficiency, where VR and IR and cos phi r are the receiving end voltage, current and power factor, and Vs, Is, cos phi s are the sending end voltage, current and power factor respectively. So this is all about your voltage regulation and efficiency of transmission. So from the today's session you are able to know about the layout of distribution and transmission and distribution scheme. You are known about the feeder, distributor, serviceman, generating station, transmission line, primary transmission, secondary transmission, distribution line, primary distribution, secondary distribution. Okay, you are able to know about generating station, receiving station, transmission lines. You are able to know voltage regulation and efficiency of transmission. So from these expression you are able to calculate voltage regulation and transmission efficiency of transmission line. Okay, so this is all about. Then we will continue in next class. Okay, thank you all.